Golden Dahl, everyone. This is Mr. Sterling with yet another commentary. That's Icelandic because that's a proper adjective to describe my commentaries. Yeah. So, anyways, this is actually going to be a little bit special because I'm doing a review on not just one video, but two. And it's almost sort of a second degree commentary because the video is one and the same. But I'm still reviewing the two different parts as separate videos. So the main focus on this video is on a person named JoshMarkeyCEOP. He is a commentator who uses the Microsoft Sam voice. Oh, you know how much everyone loves that voice. And I'm basically doing a review on one of his OSCs because there's just so many things wrong with it, and the fact on how he tries to defend his points by bringing up really irrelevant stuff. Yeah. So to really get into this video, I need to explain a little bit of a backtrack. So the video he's doing on is a commentary that Die2234 did on slainender. Slainender basically made a butthurt video to Die2234 using Microsoft Sam voice, and it's just really hilarious on how butthurt he got. And I mean, it's pretty obvious. I mean, he's not trying to disguise this at all. So just a little summary on slainender is he's basically just this kid who got in some little mini internet war with someone named PSI Paula 4. I really don't know much about it, mainly because that's not really the focus for this video. But from what I know, he's basically a kid who overreacts too much, and he's also a block spammer. So basically, if you even just leave one negative comment, you have like a 90% chance of being blocked. Yeah, that's how insane he goes. And just proof here, I'll show a comment that I left. After leaving this comment, I was immediately blocked. So basically, I was just responding to one of his little butthurt videos he made on PSI Paula 4, and I basically just said, yeah, you're very butthurt. You're just going to block him just like that? Way to pussy out. And he just replied saying, shove it up your ass, and then blocking me. Yeah, very mature. Yeah, I admit that that comment was a little bit harsh, but hey, I'm sort of a tough love commentator. But now into the actual video that I'm going to be reviewing. So this is the video that Die2234 did on slainender's response to him. Basically, slainender just made some really butthurt video about Die2234, and this is his response to it. And I'm not going to commentate through it. I will, though, commentate afterwards on how well Die2234 did.
Thunderbirds 2000 has something to tell about Die2234.
He said my name!
Hello. I am Thunderbirds 2000.
Oh, really? But your channel name says otherwise.
Die2234, I know you are a faggot and you suck at fail.
Wait, I suck at fail? What does that even mean?
And you stop calling me kid or I will block you for life.
Wait, you will block me for life? Did you already block me? Does it look like I care?
I need you to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out. Fuck off.
You want me to GTFO where?
Off.
That's it? Well, I guess we didn't learn much today because this guy is obviously retarded or something. Well, see ya!
Okay, I'm not going to talk about anything on slainender's video because I'm pretty sure you guys all know how bad his video was. But on Die2234's one shot on him, it was pretty good. You know, there wasn't a lot of detail in it, but then again, this is a one shot. I don't really expect it that much. He did make some pretty valid points, although it was more meant to be more of a joke one shot, I'd say. It was still pretty good, so it wasn't all that bad. I guess the reason Die2234 didn't make a lot of comments on what slainender did is because, you know, what else is there really to say? It's pretty blatant on what slainender did. I mean, it's not like Die2234 has to spoon feed it to you. But this isn't about him. This is about actually JoshMarkeyCEOP. Now, before we get into what his response to Die2234's video is, I'd like to show you what he left in the comments to his video. I just posted a video response to your response to slainender. Prepare for the world of pain. And pretty much Die's reaction is the same as mine. Oh wow, I'm so petrified. But then JoshMarkey responds with this. BTW, I do not have autism. Okay? Where did that come from? Dai didn't say anything about that. He didn't even say it in his video because his video wasn't even about you. So then Dai's response was, I didn't ask. And the way you act says otherwise. Ooh, sick burn. But still, that's one thing I want to point out that I want to bring up right now. JoshMarkey has this weird habit of just saying stuff that's irrelevant to the argument. What does being autistic have anything to do with this? He didn't say anything that would remotely even hint that he called you autistic. So, unless you're bringing it up just for the sake of being non sequitur, which is stupid, I don't see why you brought that up. Now, before I show JoshMarkey's OSC on Dai's video, I just want to show you what he put in the video description underneath, and might prove that JoshMarkey is in fact a white knight. Requested by slainender. Seriously, Dai, get on with it. Get on with what? I always agree with slainender, aka Lewis, aka Thunderbirds 2000. So you're totally just going to ignore the really large flaws slainender put in his video just because you always agree with him? You're seriously going to say that? Okay, let me put in a hypothetical for you. And this is just a hypothetical, it's not your situation. But let's say, what if slainender made a video where he said something really racist against black people or Asian people or Latinos, whatever? Would you agree with him then? Now, I'm not saying that it's not okay to side with your friends. I'll side with my friends too. But if they say something that I know is extremely wrong or is extremely offensive or is just completely untrue, then I'm going to call them out on it. I really will. A good example was with the 8-Bit Fox when the whole new Tragic Sonic thing was going on and how he still was kind of wanting to rag on him. And I called him out and I just said, dude, it's kind of old news now. He's apologized for what he said. He's trying to move on. I think it's just best to let it die. But anyways, over with the whole White Knight things, let's actually watch what JoshMarkeyCEOP responded with.
First of all, slainender is not boring. Secondly, I agree with slainender, aka Thunderbirds 2000. Third, nobody likes your opinion on slainender. Just deal with it.
Okay, let's review the 3 points that he made on that video. Number 1, that slainender is not boring. Number 2, that he will always agree with slainender. And number 3, that nobody cares about Dai's opinion. That's seriously it? That's your OSC? Those are seriously your points? Well, JoshMarkey on his YouTube channel page told everyone that if he accidentally messes up in any of his videos, to tell him. Well, JoshMarkey, I'm going to do just that, because believe me, you messed up a lot in this video. Pretty much, this is what I'm summing up. Number 1, don't use a computerized voice. Just don't. It's not really good for commentaries. I'd rather hear someone's real voice than hear Microsoft Sam or Speakonia. Second, he didn't prove anything in his commentary. He didn't point out any logical fallacies. He didn't call out Dai's bullshit, which he didn't really make any, except maybe for the retard comment. He probably could have called him out on that. But no, instead, he just made a bunch of these statements that were irrelevant to the video and proved my third point, that he's white knighting him, that he'll always agree with him. Number 4, his whole no one cares about your opinions is a tu quo qui argument. And also, it's not entirely true, because if no one cared about his opinion, then JoshMarkey wouldn't have made this video. So obviously, JoshMarkey cares about his opinion, because otherwise he wouldn't have made this video. But still back to the whole tu quo qui thing. That could be said almost about anyone's opinion. That could be said about slainender's opinion. That could be said about my opinion. That could be said about JoshMarkey's opinion on Dai. So that's really just a whole argument that just falls flat on its face. And 5, I want to point this out because JoshMarkey likes to disable ratings and put his comments up for his approval. I find that to be really cowardice when you're doing commentaries. See, I don't censor. You can thumb my video down. You can leave nasty comments on Mr. Sir Raven because I believe in free speech. And honestly, I think you have a right to say about whatever you want about me whenever you want. I think that's perfectly okay. Of course, if you leave like a troll comment or you leave like a butthurt comment, I'm going to call you out on it. But still, I don't monitor stuff like that. That's like what Onision does. And then here are Josh Markey's responses. His first one, dude, I don't have a headset. And that comment makes no sense because of mean people keep blaming me for disabling the rating. Okay, that didn't make any grammatical sense. Okay, first off, the whole I don't have a headset thing, yeah, that's not an excuse. You don't need a headset to be able to record voice. In fact, I'm not using a headset right now. I'm just using a microphone, which costs me like $20. They're really easy to buy. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can find some really good like used ones for maybe even less, like $10 or $7. And then what doesn't make sense? And that comment makes no sense because of mean people keep blaming you. So it doesn't make sense because mean people keep blaming you for disabling the rating. I love the fact that he says mean people. No, it's not the fact that they're mean. Well, maybe some of them are mean, but it's the fact that you're censoring people's opinions. Because we have a right to call you out on your bullshit. That's why I don't disable ratings, because I don't think that's fair. So how does that make no sense? Why are you trying to argue? Or are you just completely lost? And then his second comment is, and hell, comma, I get trolled, comma, a lot of times, comma, because I like metal. And pie also. Again, relevancy. Josh Markey, if you're trying to argue or debate something with me, you gotta bring up relevant points. These aren't relevant points. And the worst part is, we're not even done with this, because after I left these comments, he went to go start posting on the channel comment section of my channel. And the irrelevancy just continues on. So he left this comment originally on my channel. Look here, I do not have a headset or a microphone. As I explained earlier, you do not need a headset or a microphone to record audio. Does it help? Yes, but is it 100% needed? No, it is not. Because most computers nowadays are built with Windows Movie Maker or iMovie in them, and they can record audio without needing a microphone or a headset. So it's not like that you're completely unable unless you're recording on a really, really, really old computer, like I'm talking about like back in like the early 90s, then there's really no excuse that you have. But if you really need those things, then guess what? You can go out and buy them. They're very cheap. Just go out and buy a used one for like $10, $15 or even less than that, and then you'll be fine. I'd rather hear someone's voice than hear Microsoft Sam, because that's really, really lazy in my opinion. It's just not a really good thing to be doing when commentating. So I told him that. I said, that's not an excuse. Now, if you're wondering why I'm leaving the comment on my channel, not his channel, it's because he doesn't allow people who aren't his contacts to leave channel comments on his channel. So I had to leave it here. Yeah, I know, it's kind of stupid, but pretty much it just started this really stupid like little debate in my comments. So then his response to that was, yes it is, do not complain about it. And then continue on going, by the way, complaining to me about the natural Microsoft Sam voice will not let you get away with your complaining shit. What am I trying to get away with? What does that even mean? You're totally derailing what we're discussing about something else. So what's originally about is the fact that you're just using excuse of that you do not have a headset or microphone to use Microsoft Sam, and then you say, oh, but I'm not going to let you get away with complaining about this. Okay, well then good. Don't let me get away with complaining about it. I want people to know that, yes, I'm calling you out on your shit, saying, hey, you shouldn't be using this. And I feel like that I'm not the first person to do this. I feel like this is almost like a Sirius the Hedgehog Co. moment. You know how like Sirius the Hedgehog Co., he wouldn't use editing, or he wouldn't use a Windows movie downloader, and we had to keep telling him over and over and over and over and over again. When I say we, I mean the commentary community. And we keep telling him all these great ways of doing it, yet he still will never do it. I feel like it's almost the same exact way where it just goes in one ear and out the other. So, am I the first person to do this? If I am, then great. But then let this be an eye-opener, Josh Markey, that yes, you should record with your voice. And if that means getting a headset or a microphone, then that's fine. Go out and do it. Buy a used one that's really cheap. You don't need to get this super expensive one for like $500. I'm not asking you to do that. But you shouldn't be using Microsoft Sam, because usually people who use a computerized voice don't get the best reputation here. Gyro. But now for my favorite comment left by Josh Markey. This comment is so irrelevant, so non-germane to what he's trying to prove that, do you know what? Let me just show you. JoshMarkeyCEOP said to me, and I quote, "Trust me, slainender is Asian and is from Hong Kong." Cool story, brah. JoshMarkey, what were you trying to prove with this? This is super irrelevant to what we were debating on. In fact, I wasn't even talking about slainender. I was discussing stuff about your video and how your video was flawed. Why did you even bring this up? This has nothing to do with what we were debating about. I guess you were trying to change the subject, yet you completely failed on it? Why do I care if slainender is from Hong Kong? What does that make the difference? Oh, he's from Hong Kong, blah, blah, blah. I guess this is over then. No, that's stupid. What, is that your way of trying to protect him from blame or something? Because that really doesn't work. That's the great thing about the internet. You can make a crappy video in Hong Kong and then get called out on your bullshit in America. Yay. So in summation, JoshMarkey, if you're going to learn to defend something or call on someone's bullshit, learn to bring up relevant points, because saying that he's from Hong Kong doesn't really help your case at all. That is super irrelevant to what we were discussing. Maybe you could elaborate on why that is related to the subject, but if you can't, then don't bring it up. Also, don't make too queer arguments, and if you're going to call someone out on their BS, then please explain and provide proof for it. Because otherwise, you're just telling me that you're very immature. But don't worry, it's not just your video that's telling me you're immature, it's also from your channel. Because as from his channel, he's a block spammer. He wants you to false flag this Gary12GG guy, but don't false flag him or otherwise he's going to come at you. An anti-troll list, or basically his supporters and his white knights, a butthurt list, which are people that call him out on his bullshit, and of course making stupid channel memes. Now, if JoshMarkey is a troll, I really don't care. This commentary still stands, because if he's truly trolling, then he's doing a really, really bad job of it. Because I know trolls. I have friends in real life who like to troll on the internet for fun. Yeah, because now it's like a pastime activity here in America. But you're doing it wrong if you're trying to troll JoshMarkey. But something tells me that you're really, really not. And besides, even if he was a troll, I still do not find that a viable excuse. Because as M. Skull once said about Flippy Invader,
saying that this kid is trolling is basically saying that this kid is smart enough to pretend that he's stupid.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to end off the video here. So until next time, this is Mr. Sir Raven saying bless. You know what? Screw making credits. Listen to Danish folk music on your own time. God!